But I think America's biggest problem is everyone's looking at everyone else's circumstances through our own lens. And so we fight and we debate because it's like, you should get it like this. You know what I'm saying? And you're sitting there saying, yeah, but he doesn't come from the same lens as you. And I think that was key what he said when Kraig saw that, and we had that conversation of, wait a minute, we're looking at these kids through our lens. We've got to start understanding these kids and helping them navigate through their lens. And I think that answers your question. The more we build relationships and see, then the better you can minister and help somebody and mentor somebody, because now I understand what your lens is.
So Anderson, how about a youth that's impacted you?
Oh, yeah. The one that sticks out, that it was probably about, this young lady is now probably reaching 30, but her name was Jada, and at 12 years old, I remember we were in the gym, and there's just something you just saw special about this individual. And I said, what's your name? And, and then it turned out we were connected because her grandmother and my mother were good friends. And she said, oh, that's such and such granddaughter. I said, no, I didn't know that. Well, this young woman came from hard circumstances. She stayed with her grandmother because the household was just very concerning. And I remember that I really took her under my wing. And what God showed me through her was, when you're going to mentor, it can't always be about the hand claps. And so as she got to high school and faced challenges, I forget what she did, but she did something that was kind of embarrassing, and people came and said, get with your girl, And I remember we lit into her, and I went home, and I'm like, man, I'm so embarrassed that she would do that. And I remember God telling me then don't mentor. Because if you're just doing it for when you can say, oh, look, we got her grades up, or, oh, we got her into college. But here was that time where she fell short, and I'm darn near ready to say, and I remember God, really had to check me and said that, check yourself, because this is her lens, and it's not always going to be pretty. And so when we're mentoring people, we have to understand it's not always going to be pretty. We're going to have to help through the hand claps and the times where we got to go in the closet and pray. And I think that was just monumental to me, because it just really self-checked me on, why are you doing this? And are you doing it for God to get the glory, or for you to get the glory? And it was more of a self-check for me and where I was at. And like I said, that young lady's, we ended up getting her off to college.